started doing just a simple warm-up. It was just a simple little warm-up, and we did it in a round, and I thought, I've never heard something this beautiful. It was in harmony.
Reagan was singing the moment she was born, and we tried to find an outlet for her. A good family friend told me about the little white house on Ballas Road, and we called and scheduled for her to have an interview. Reagan was very shy as a young kid, so I was nervous that she wasn't even gonna go in the room. So she went in, and Barbara came out and said she has perfect pitch. We'd love for her to join us, and that began our lives with the St. Louis Children's Choir.
We're an essential part of the St. Louis tapestry, but beyond that, we're also an opportunity and a place where children can learn how to use their voice.
For Reagan especially, I think it's just really instilled some really good values in her. She's learned to be responsible.
And it's been a gateway to other things. She's acted in musicals and plays. She never would have explored those opportunities without the experience in the children's choir.
When you're a kid, I think it's really important that you have experiences that help you envision what's possible for your life. So if you get to perform at an amazing institution like the St. Louis Symphony, you're used to being in a setting where like there's a really high bar set. And so you just getting to try that on for size teaches you so much.
They're taking away lessons in professionalism and representing something bigger than yourself, and teamwork and cooperation. These lessons are so much more than the sum of their parts.
One of my favorite memories of singing with the children's choir was maybe when we went to sing with the Ambassadors of Harmony. We all had little candles, and we were all singing, and most of the audience was in tears, and it was so fun.
One of my favorite memories was probably singing at Powell Hall. It was so beautiful, and I really liked the noise and how the way it like echoed.
The first tour I did was to Russia in 1995. That was on the Volga River, where we would stop off at different towns, do concerts, and get to meet the people that lived there.
We were fortunate enough to go with the choirs to their trip last summer in New York City. They performed at Carnegie Hall, and it was just amazing. Watching your daughter performing up there was really once in a lifetime opportunity. I don't know of another place in St. Louis that can provide kids with these opportunities. Allison has really changed the program with her musicianship program, which was amazing for Reagan. It helped her in school because she was then learning how to read music, and she was ahead of the class because she'd already been through some of this with Allison.
I would say that music education is for everyone, and it's essential to start it in childhood.
Music lights up the brain like no other activity. It is just brain building. And so it helps us to think more carefully and impacts all kinds of other subjects.
It supports mathematics. It supports languages. It supports history because we're singing about historical events. Literally, almost everything that is taught in the school in other classes that we consider STEM classes, those are all a part of what music teaches every day.
St. Louis Children's Choir is so amazing because it's a broad program and it's accessible to families like ours who would not normally be able to afford such an amazing education.
We are so grateful for all of the supporters of the St. Louis Children's Choirs, and it's vital that that support comes to the program because the actual cost of the program per student is actually much higher than what we charge for tuition. And we are so grateful to be able to do that so that we're not passing those costs on to every family.
In order to attract the students, you have to keep tuitions at a reasonable level. So it's fundraising opportunities like the Gala that allow us to provide funds for the future.
I wouldn't be who I am today without the choirs. I think it has just really opened my eyes to the importance of the arts.
At this early age, music, a high quality choral music program will have been such an integral part of their life that they will be music lovers and more sensitive, more wonderful human beings for our St. Louis community or for wherever they end up living their lives. So an investment in the St. Louis Children's Choirs today really is an investment in the future.
I can't even put into words the impact that it's had on her and our family. Watching your kid perform on stage, wasn't a dry eye in the room, at least for our family.
Together in harmony.
Together in harmony.
Together in harmony.